Hello, everyone. My name is Albertina Nyati. I'm from Eswatini. I work for an organization for women living with HIV and TB survivors called Positive Women Together in Action. Um, as mentioned, the topic is about antimicrobial resistance. Um, in Eswatini is one of the countries where we have the highest prevalence of HIV and also TB. So the issue of antimicrobial resistance is an issue that we are battling with every day. Firstly, let me start by what I think are the causes. Um, the causes of this are that firstly, with TB, it is because TB is a disease that we all know that we get from the air. So sometimes one is contracts TB that is already drug resistant. So then when they are given medication, you find that the medication doesn't work well. Also, there are issues with uh, issues of infection prevention and control. You find that some people um, get a TB from the hospitals or from any other settings, and you find that that TB it's also already a drug-resistant TB. And then also, uh, when they take medication, you find that medication doesn't work. But also because of certain problems that that we face as TB survivors, you find that uh, some people are not able to go to hospital to get their medications because of social issues like the hospital is too far, there's no food. So you find that the person will not be able to drink their medication, and then issues of stock out. Our country sometimes have a stock out of medication, and then people are not able to drink their medication. Thus, you find that they become drug resistant. Also, with HIV, you find that the services, sometimes they ask HIV medication stock out. Sometimes it's like the services, sometimes they're too expensive. Some people cannot afford because beside HIV, we develop other diseases that needs medication. Or you find that you are given your medication and your antibiotics, but when you go to the pharmacy, you find that the medication is expensive. Some people will then not take the medication, and it resulted to asking around for medication where they are going to be given medication that is not enough to cure the disease. Hence, they develop resistance. Okay, the other one is the misuse of medication, where you find that people misuse medication. Some, like I said, they borrow. Some they take the medication when they feel like they're better. They stop drinking the medication. So all of these are the things um, that cause problems. And then also um, okay, there are also when we talk about these issues, they are right that right and entitlement, especially in the workplaces, because you find that most people that are drug resistant or that are not taking their medication properly, they include even people that work in informal sector, like we all know that most TB and HIV positive people, they work in informal sectors where you find that they are busy all day. They don't have the chance to go to the hospital. And then also you find that some of them, they are women who doesn't have enough money to cater for their medical bills. So you find that they also have to ask maybe for permission or for money. They're dependent on other people for funds to go to hospital and get medication. So once if they are told there is no money, they are not going to get it, to get the money to go to the hospital. And then also, uh, I would like to say some of the entitlements they include that with the people living with HIV, most of them they are not working. They do the informal work, like work in the markets. They can't afford to buy medication. They can't afford to go to hospital each and every day. Some of them they miss doses because they can't afford to go to hospital. Hence, the need for support for them to be able to go to hospital and take their medication. There is also an issue with the stigma and discrimination. So where you find that people are discriminated, when people are discriminated, they're not able to go and get their medication. So they will be scared of being stigmatized, and then they miss their doses. Uh, there are policies that should be in place to ensure that they support and ensure that people adhere to their medication. I would say for people living with HIV, we still want to ensure that the workplace policies are still in place, but they should be reviewed because some to ensure that they are non-discriminatory, and then they also ensure confidentiality. And also, another policy that has to be there is the confidentiality policy, because some people they don't go to hospital because they fear that their confidentiality will be disclosed. So they will miss doses because of fear of disclosure. And then some people living with HIV they don't have even if food at home. So we would like to also have policies that ensure that people living with HIV and those that have TB, they are they are given food so that they can be able to drink their medication and adhere to their medication. The issue of women living with HIV and GBV is also another issue that makes people not adhere to medication. Hence, we would like to ensure that there should be policies that look at issues of GBV and also issues of risk, such as climate change, because sometimes with GBV and climate change, sometimes they make people to be displaced. Because when a person has been beaten and they're running away from home, they leave their medication at home. And then also when there is issue of climate change, um, like there's a cyclone, people are displaced and then their medication is gone. So there is need to ensure that our policies ensure that they cater for issues of risk and also ensure that issues of gender-based violence are there in policies. Um, I would like to say with the right diagnosis, the right treatment, and the dignity of people, we are going to be able to conquer and ensure that there is no there is no drug resistance. Thank you.